I am Peggy Jacques. I'm the Executive Director and founder of Graceland Center for Purposeful Aging. Today we want to introduce you to Graceland Center for Purposeful Aging. Welcome to this summit. This call to action is to gather community stakeholders together to address the gap in wellness services to older adults and to create a culture of aging with dignity, respect, and vitality here in Peoria.
I am Chris Clemens, and I am a board member for Graceland Center for Purposeful Aging. This has been a dream for our executive director, Peggy Jacques, who has been a dear friend of mine for a long time. And she asked me to be on the board with her, and I was happy to help. This was a big, important step for our organization, bringing the community together to generate some excitement and goals for going forward for the building of our senior center.
To learn how I could help older adults, I completed a healthcare gerontology course out of the University of Phoenix. And part of that certification process, we had to do a needs analysis and a community assessment and identify a gap of services. I discovered the absence of a senior center here in Peoria. Even though I have my master's in community health, have made more home visits than I could even tell you, I did not realize this huge absence of a community resource. So I got to work, was divinely provided with mentors that I will acknowledge, gathered a band of faithful followers, and now it's the rest of the story.
We are building the center based on the idea that seniors need a place to come together and connect and socialize and have friendships and support and resources and explore their purpose and live their best life, and so many things driven by what the seniors here in Peoria need. And this is filling a gap of services that we don't have here in our town, and we need it. And it's just thrilling to be part of all of this. And I feel like today was a big step forward, and it's very wonderful to see it happening.
For many persons in Peoria, there is not an understanding of what a center for older adults means. Senior centers were envisioned in 1965 by the Older Adult Act. The Older Adult Act created Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. And as part of that act, they made a recommendation that all communities have a senior center for meals, for transportation, for resources, and for socialization. Even in 1965, they recognized that leaving the workplace can be very daunting and leave people without a purpose. There are over 10,000 senior centers across the United States, and over 1.1 million people get served every day. Peoria, as the 8th largest city in Illinois and of the top 10, we are the only city that doesn't have a senior center. Let that fact sit in. All communities, including Peoria, have a growing number of older adults. 30% of Peoria's population is over the age of 50. With 110,000 as a rough population, that is about 3,300 people. Imagine the impact of the wellness programming could do to improve the overall health of Peoria. Envision how healthier lives as we age would not only benefit ourselves, our families, and our medical and social services. Social determinants of health are markers to help focus our efforts toward overall health. Social isolation and social connections are a critical element of psychological well-being. To know that a person is of value to others and part of a larger community promotes mental, physical, and emotional health. We know the detrimental effects of social isolation. COVID brought that front and center to everyone's attention. In fact, there is a new diagnosis category that outlines social determinant issues of health to help guide medical and social services. There is now a billable and identifiable medical diagnosis for loneliness.
My name is Jenny Brooks. I am so passionate about Graceland Center for Purposeful Aging, and to be able to be a part of something amazing that we're working on building in the Peoria area for the aging population. And so just a little bit about me, just so I can kind of preface part of why I'm so thankful to be part of Graceland, is that I'm a clinical mental health counselor, and I work on an inpatient psychiatric unit, and I do private practice, and a lot of the elderly individuals that I work with on an inpatient basis, we end up discharging, needing some type of services to where they can go and hang out and get to meet people and have socialization and not be at home by themselves, or just even with a family member popping in and out. They need to be around people.
Social isolation is epidemic and demands attention due to its lethal implications for health. The mortality of people who go home and have no one to help take care of them is almost twice as much as people that do. Those are lethal implications for social isolation. Many persons live alone, have families and friends who have moved away, have lost spouses, or have become burdened with caregiving. They have become disconnected from and are no longer part of work, social clubs, churches, or volunteering. We must take this opportunity to turn this deterioration around.
My colleagues and I sit around and we're like, where are we going to send them? We don't want to put them in a facility. They don't have enough family at home. We need some type of resources for them to be able to go to. And Graceland is that. A place where our elderly folks can grow, a place where they can have, socialization. We can check in on them. They can learn how to do things. They can, have some programming. They can have wellness, overall wellness. And that is needed in our society so much. Our population is continuing to age. Mental health is more prevalent these days, even in our younger population. And our elderly population is so important, and the stigma is so great, and we need to be able to acclimate them within our society so that they can help even our children continue to grow and find purpose. And so that is the whole purpose of Graceland.
When 60-year-olds have resources to understand the implications of retirement and plan ahead for those life changes. When 70-year-olds feel valued as a person and want to take care of themselves and go out and exercise. When 80-year-olds go and explore new adventures and excited to learn new skills. And when 90-year-olds still feel important, not just for their advanced age, but they have a group of friends that very value them as a person. The ripple effect of addressing the 30% of our population are immense. Peoria has a huge opportunity to bridge the gap of services related to socialization, easy access to resources, and opportunities to age with vitality. To be clear, there are no centers or agencies offering this. There is no duplication because there's nothing to duplicate. Any service provided currently is wonderful. They certainly are meaningful and supportive. However, there still remains a gap that could be provided by such a center.